Hi, I'm Alexis Wetzel, and this is my week 4 weekly reflection video. This week we've been talking about the theme of food and the power dynamic when it comes to food, and how does that power dynamic change when food gets scarce? We were to pick a historic event where a severe lack of food impacted a significant number of people, and the historic event I chose is the Sudan Civil War. The Sudan Civil War actually didn't start until 2023. It began during Ramadan of 2023 and it is still ongoing to this day. Basically, the Sudanese armed forces and the rapid support forces are at war. And in this war, both sides are weaponizing food and aid. The fighting is greatly affecting the harvest season, and they're both blocking aid. So many people are without food. It is causing mass famine. The Famine Committee actually reported man-made famine in 2024, and there are 24.6 million people that are going without food. The fighting is leading to acute food insecurity, which means that people quite literally don't have enough food to survive. And as a result of people not having enough food to survive, it is causing internal displacement. The Sudan Civil War has actually been named the largest internal displacement in possibly in history. There have been over 9 million people that have been forced to leave Sudan and go elsewhere. So the mutual food weaponization between both sides was making me think of a conversation we actually had today in class, talking about the short stories from Teddy Roosevelt and E.E. Cummings, talking about how the North and the South were both blocking food and using that to capitalize on the other. In Sudan's case, it does appear that the mass weaponization of food is causing a stalemate. There's been calls for ceasefires from the United Nations, and nothing has worked. It has been labeled like the largest humanitarian crisis currently in the world. And then just thinking back on the text that we read and connecting to class conversations, the fact that like the Civil War is making me think of when Mr. Pirzada came to dinner and how his family was greatly affected. He was teaching while his wife and his daughter were stuck in the country dealing with the Civil War. And based on the research I conducted on the Sudan Civil War, it does appear that it's mainly women and children that are affected by the internal displacement and the mass famine that is taking place in Sudan. Um, so yeah, that's my weekly reflection, and